Yeah, let's talk about the narrative exploding. Outside of the actual narrative exploding, we have this other story here. Alex Berenson. Yeah. So Elon Musk tweeted to Alex Berenson, a journalist, "Can you say more about this, quote, pressures that the government may have placed on Twitter?" This is interesting. Alex Berenson is a journalist. He was tweeting about vaccines, very skeptical and talking about a lot of the data. And then he got suspended. He filed a lawsuit. He won. Nobody expected this to happen because everyone believes that when you get banned from Twitter or whatever, that you file a lawsuit and then it gets thrown out. Most of his suit did get thrown out, but I think there was breach of contract, which persisted. So Alex says, "I wish I could, Elon Musk, but the settlement with Twitter prevents me from doing so. However, in the near future, I hope and expect to have more to report." On a Substack post, talking about how he got his account back, he says, "I need to add one thing. The settlement does not end my investigation into the pressures that the government may have placed on Twitter to suspend my account. I will have more to say on that issue in the near future. I made a promise to readers last month, and I take my promises to readers seriously." Alex Berenson seems to have some kind of information that the government is actively pressuring Twitter to engage in censorship.
Better watch out.
If Elon Musk takes this company over, it's going to be really interesting to find out what happens. But how much do you want to bet? Say it's October. Elon Musk, all the news happens. Elon Musk now owns Twitter. Then someone immediately says, "Okay, Elon, what was going on?" And he goes, "I can't talk about it." How much do you want to bet?
Well, if everyone, I don't know how many people read what he was talking about last month, but last month when he discussed this on his Substack, he said, "Look, I think we're getting close to an agreement, basically, but any agreement I make, I promise, will not exclude me from being able to make this public, anything we may find in discovery surrounding this issue." And I think the reason for that, or why it's important, is because that gets to the crux of it. And we had those whistleblowers come out with the Disinformation Governance Bureau, whatever they were calling it, where initially the government said they weren't really policing everyone's misinformation. This was only going to be targeting Russian disinformation and security stuff. But that wasn't true. So if the government, I'm not a lawyer, but if from what we hear from others, and Viva and Robert talk about this a lot, that's the linchpin. So if they were pressuring these social media companies, that opens up a whole new Pandora's box.
This is what really bugs me about a lot of this, is that Alex he made a First Amendment claim, and the judge was like, "You have no First Amendment claim because it's a private company doing it." Yeah. Not true. We do know there was a story out of California. I think it was Judicial Watch that exposed this. Democrats were making requests on who they wanted censored. Right. These are government actors going to a private company and using them as a cudgel. So we need a court to come in on First Amendment grounds, and we need that information. How do you navigate this? When we know they're doing it, but the courts are like, well, it's a private company. Yeah. It's like, yes, how do we get the investigation to show the government is going in and telling them to do these things? How do we get that information?
I guess... Oh, go ahead.
A whistleblower is coming out, honestly.
That's what I was going to say.
Be brave. Go to Project Veritas.
Yes.
Or some organization like Veritas, but Veritas is a great one, yeah.
That's Chuck Grassley, Senator Grassley from Iowa, how they got it there. That was government coming out and doing that. The private companies and Project Veritas is great. If I was working at one of those, they would be at the top of the list because they've been doing so much of this. But yeah, I don't see any reason why you couldn't go to a lawmaker as well. I mean, eventually this has to be fixed in the law.
The good news, though, Elon Musk actively taking a role in looking into these things. Potentially by October, he may have Twitter.
Why do you think by October?
That it was reported that's when the settlement should happen. Yeah. Maybe even August. Okay. So, but at some point soon. You look scared.
It just feels like people are clinging to the idea, and it's just not going to happen.
Oh, Mary, you're so wrong, young and naive. Elon Musk will save us.
That's right.
If we put all of our faith in one person.
He's Twitter Jesus.
That's right.
I agree with you, Mary. I think there's a lot of hope that he's going to save us.
I don't think he cares.
I mean, he's just a guy, and the government still has gag orders. They can, like you said, put a gag order. They probably have one on Twitter right now that'll transfer ownership.
It's on the company. So here's what I bet. I bet there's a national security letter. What I've seen circulating is that the feds have national security interests in stopping misinformation. That's been the idea that's going around. If it's a national security letter, Elon Musk is I'm going to buy this company. He's going to walk in and they're going to be like, here's what you've inherited. And he's going to look at it and go,
can't do anything.
Can't do anything. And it's going to be the same exact game.
So you were saying, what's his name? Barrister? Berenson?
Berenson.
Alex Berenson. He said on his Substack he was going to go public with everything. Immediately it happened, and then
promised,
he didn't.
when he said, I made a promise to my readers, what he's talking about is that he said, I will not make a deal. I will not, whatever arrangement we come to, I will not agree to it if it doesn't mean that I can't publicly put out information relating to that, which is important.
And then he agreed to a deal and is no longer, and he said he can't put out public
this
information.
This is what got me today.
So maybe it's a government
His
thing.
settlement prevents settlement with Twitter prevents me from doing so.
Yeah, and this is what got me today. The security angle is, I don't know, Tim. It's got to be
is his Twitter account really that important?
It's got to be that, though. The secure, maybe he thinks, reading between the lines here, he's going to challenge that in court. But I'll tell you what, if that's his plan, he's going to lose. He's going to lose, without a doubt. You cannot beat those guys in court when they pull that national security card. That's it. It's over. It's done. No judge, no federal judge is going to be one of the first to do that.
It's the problem with
that's why the
extrajudicial
First Amendment. And I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go, man.
The First Amendment argument that Tim was just lamenting, they throw out all the time. That is the argument. And they toss it out, all the time. They throw that in the trash bin and they talk about something that's on the periphery or something, and it drives me nuts.
I gotta call shenanigans here. I gotta call shenanigans.
Oh, yeah?
Alex, shenanigans.
Oh.
Your settlement with Twitter? What? Your Twitter account. That's it.
Did he get money?
My understanding is he got his Twitter account back. That's it.
We don't know.
The other. So I'm sorry. I'm going to give Alex the benefit of the doubt and just say it may be he's currently investigating and doesn't want to ruin his ability to get more information. But this is not enough. To come out and be like, I got my Twitter account back, guys. I can't tell you about the corporate malfeasance.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm hoping there's
Substack.
You know what I would do?
Substack halfway written.
Exactly.
I would sit in that Papazon right there. I would take a camera. I would grab all of the paperwork. I would take a cigar. I don't smoke cigars either, but I would sit down with the camera on and be like, ladies and gentlemen, everything I'm not allowed to talk about. And I'd throw it down and be like, I'm over it. I don't stand for that. Now, it's easy to say because I don't know what happened. It could be a national security letter.
Yeah.
It could be that Twitter said, look at what happened. So let me break this down for you. Alex was told by an employee at Twitter that if he broke any of the rules, they would give him a warning. They ban him without giving him a warning. So he filed a breach of contract, First Amendment, and they said, no, all that stuff's out. But the breach of contract's legit because they said they'd give you a warning. They didn't, banned you. Okay, they can't do that. And so Twitter issued a statement saying we should not have banned him for this. It could be that the reason he wasn't given any warnings, despite them saying, is because national security letter. Feds came in and said, ban him for saying these things. And Twitter was like, whatever you say, government, and then didn't tell him why. When a lot of people get banned, there's no reason given. It happens. It'll be like reason for ban blank.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
They may have gone to him and said, we're going to tell you why you got banned. We're going to reinstate you, but you can't talk about it if we do this. Do you agree? Yes. Boom. National security letter. And then he's like, okay.
I wonder if they could, I bet you they could justify these issues they have with elections, claims about elections. I wonder if they could justify that under a security banner as well. Because, I popped up 45 minutes after Tucker. I was lucky and reinstated. But when I was banned, it was boom, it was gone. And the only thing they were anticipating was a report that we were releasing. Whether some of the claims that you saw on Twitter after the election, this many of this people voted, this many of that people voted, we were doing an investigation on it. It was imminent. It was coming. And I was sitting home watching television with my kids. And I got a text from Steve Bannon. He's like, "You're a legend. You're gone." I don't know if you know. And I'm like, what?
Are you back on now, though?
I am. I went on. I'll tell you, Tucker. It's the only one had my back.
How long were you banned for?
About 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
They say it was an error or something.
Nope. They totally ignored me, Tim, and
So
I just
weird,
reappeared.
dude.
I got off of the show 45 minutes later. I got maybe 20 minutes at the opening at Tucker, and maybe by 9 o'clock, 9:05, I was just magically
Did you talk?
reinstated.
Wow.
Were you talking about the ban on Tucker?
Yes, that's what he called to have me on to talk about it.
Here's what I think. So you remember when Elon Musk was like he secured the deal, and then all of a sudden all these left accounts and celebrities lost followers.
Yeah.
Tons of right-wing and libertarian accounts gained followers. I think it's obvious that there's some kind of Enron shenanigans going on, burning documents, destroying evidence. Something's happening because they know Elon's about to come in. I think it involves the government. I think Alex gave us that hint.
Yeah.
Just that little teeny drop that he could say without getting specifics. And now he can't say more because it involves the government.
That could be taken out of context and make it sound like you're talking about Alex Jones about
Oh,
some
Alex
random
Jones.
thing about the government.
right.
You're like, I think it's the
That's a
government.
20-second
Alex
clip.
said- yeah, that's funny.
The joke I posted is there's a video going viral showing like who's that? Who's
Eating
that?
bugs.
Yeah, who's that
Nicole
fat
Kidman?
comedian?
Oh,
no, Anna
James-
Faris.
James Corden.
James Corden. They're
Yeah.
eating crickets and ants and stuff.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Gross.
And then they're like, I just saw that and I was like, the year is 2037. Alex Jones is sworn in as president. His first act is an executive order turning all the frogs straight.
That's right.
But the joke
Yo.
is just they show you these videos of people eating bugs, and I think people are going to go and vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, all he needs to do to lose is come out and be like, come on, man, vote for me and you'll be eating crickets. People are going to be like, okay, I'm not going to vote for that. I'm out. Like, I don't want to do
Too
that.
much.
I think it's a safe, maybe not assumption, but a safe consideration that the government is involved because it's Twitter. It's a huge social media company. They come in with cease and desist orders. They come in with gag orders.
Yep.
They say, you need to ban this person. You're legally obligated not to ever mention anything about this ever. So they'll give the person a no reason ban. End of story.
I was talking to this guy when I was in Austin, and he said, I think we're going to have him on the show. He worked for the government. He worked in the Trump administration, and he said, the view of the national security apparatus is that the meme stuff and Donald Trump was undermining our national security and must be stopped. And so what their goal is, they want to make the right present, but politically ineffective, cause just enough damage to the right so they can be present, look like they're putting up a fight, but lose. Because if you come in and just outright ban everybody, it creates ripples and destabilizes the system. So they're trying to make it a 49-51 scenario. So the Democrats just slightly win every time. But it looks like the Republicans are so close.
Yeah, it disrupt equilibrium a little bit and just make it but that's the way it is in the media right now. I mean, they almost have, and I say this, I use this analogy really. I don't know if anybody plays pool, but it's almost like that. I would completely expect that because it's almost like Democrats have this advantage everywhere else. Whether it's the media, the pollsters, whatever. It's like you're playing a game of pool with somebody. They want the 6. If you don't spot them the 6, they put a, they have a canary or don't want to play the game at all. It's like they have this built-in advantage. And when it comes to messaging, they lost that in 2016. And their major lesson that they learned from all of this was not that there are people out there who have grievances. Those grievances are legitimate. Maybe we should listen to them. That was not their lesson. The lesson they took from this was let's control information. We lost control of the information flow. Those memes, I've heard they take those serious. They were effective.
Meme magic, man.
Yeah.
Donald Trump was memed into the presidency. Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.